Yo, what's up, guys? Today I'm gonna be reviewing Hunger Games MMJ. No! Shit! Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to MaffmanJones Movie Reviews. I'm your host for the day, John Maffio, and today's featured movie is Divergent, which is a film adaptation of a popular novel franchise that has been explored by many teens and young adults. It's kind of convoluted and complicated, but I'm going to try to explain it here. That's not good. Kind of like Hunger Games, there is a dystopian world, and this is Chicago, after something happened, which we don't know why it's all apocalyptic and why it's all destroyed, but something happened, and there are factions that kids are initiated into at a certain age, and Shailene Woodley is a shy, timid young woman who is divergent because everybody has to take a test, and they all fall into a certain category, but they're all able to choose their own faction despite what the test tells them. She did something with this mental test that was different from everybody else, and she's a rare breed. She's divergent. So, she picks the most crazy, insane faction, Dauntless, which are the people who do the craziest shit, and she's timid, so she's trying to conquer her fears. And as she does this, she learns that there's an overgrowing plot about the government and overthrowing, and she falls in love with this guy played by Theo James, who's one of the leaders of the Dauntless. Shit happens. I was not looking forward to Divergent just because, from the marketing standpoint, which I understand why, it was trying to cater to that Hunger Games young adult audience. Okay, so you get your audience, and it's apparently making a lot of money at the box office, so it worked, but wasn't buying me. But me and my bae went to see this movie, and she was a big fan of the novel and the other novels. Having the bae there gave me a new perception and perspective on what the movie was as a film adaptation of Divergent, but I kind of enjoyed it. I didn't hate it. It wasn't a bad movie, but I can't technically call it a good movie either. Starting off with the cast, everybody does their job to complement the characters well. Nobody really feels like they had to be the roles they were, they just fit. The shoe fit. Shailene Woodley, though, I adore her as an actress, and she's really picking up steam lately, which, good for her. I mean, she's adorable. But she was great in this movie, and she really propels her character. Without her competence as an actress, the movie might have faltered a bit more than it already has. But she definitely brought something to the movie that somebody else probably wouldn't have. Kate Winslet is in this movie, but she has nothing to do because she's this leader, but she really doesn't have anything to do acting-wise. She's just there. So, you have that to look forward to. This guy, Theo James, I had no idea who he was prior to this film, but he was the leading man of Divergent, and surprisingly, he was pretty good. He showed charisma, he showed fear, and he showed a lot of emotions. He wasn't just a straight-laced guy who's like, oh, look, I'm hot, look at my abs and my tattoos. And he complemented the chemistry with Shailene Woodley's character very well. The music was fine, the visuals were fine for what it was trying to represent as a film. It was very dark, brooding, and gritty, which is to be expected with Hollywood these days, but it didn't bother me. It wasn't obvious, but it fit the world, and I bought into the world, so I guess it worked. The most important thing here for me with this movie was the story, because if I can't buy into the story as a person who's not a fan of Divergent right now, then why make the movie? For the first 2 acts, I was actually really into this movie, even though the time span from beginning to end isn't too far. It's more of a character journey for Theo James and Shailene Woodley's characters, who start at one point and end at another point, and it's all the training for the Dauntless and them getting from one point to another. The 3rd act is where I have severe problems, but for the first 2 acts, we're getting introduced to these characters who are going to probably be in the next 2 movies, if they're alive for them, and it's just getting to know Shailene Woodley's character, seeing her grow from being a shy girl to being a tough, intimidating, and fearless woman, and I believed it. Some of the dialogue in this movie was nothing too bad, but some of it was very hokey, but the actors delivering the dialogue made me buy it a little bit. But yes, essentially the first 2 acts, which contains introductions, atmosphere, and exposition, I actually enjoyed. The 3rd act, while being entertaining and evoking some emotion from me, was kind of stupid and dumb for me. It felt too Hollywood. But overall, in a dauntless nutshell, I have to say that Divergent was, it was okay. It was entertaining for the most part. I got more than I expected out of it, and that makes me happy. It had decent performances, a decent story that goes in a direction I didn't like towards the end, but I enjoyed most of it, and I could see myself being excited for a sequel. I don't know. Divergent is a 2.5 out of 5 stars. It's an Applebee's appetizer. The only thing, though, is that the Bay said that there was a lot of changes and alterations from the book that were very unnecessary. And being a fan of comic books and Star Wars, think about it for a second. When George Lucas made all those stupid changes to the original movies for Star Wars, all the CGI characters in like Return of the Jedi, and all the stupid nonsensical bullshit, or with comic book adaptations when they change really big plot points for no reason just because it's a movie and they have to change things. So I can see where she's coming from, but I enjoyed the movie, so what does that say? But to turn the tables towards you guys, what do you think of Divergent? Males, females, transsexuals, all of you. Please let me know what you thought. Were you a fan of the movie, and did you read the book? And if you read the book, what did you think of the changes, and did you like compare them? Help me out here. Also, please like the video and subscribe to MaffmanJones so you'll never ever miss a review from me ever again. Please check out my Facebook, my Twitter, and We Live Film accounts as well in the info box. I'm John Maffio, and I'm just oozing like the green ooze from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2 for the next big young adult book adaptation. What's next? Keep bringing them, motherfuckers! Yo! Peace out.